Think Indiana safe from natural disasters? Well, think again. From tornadoes to floods and yes, even earthquakes, Mother Nature doesn't skip the Hoosier State. But the question is Indiana a safer state to get away from natural disasters? Well, today we're diving into the wild weather and natural disasters that have shaped the Hoosier State. Now, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Geesaman, a local Indy area resident and real estate agent, and I love making videos like this for people like you that are thinking about moving to the Indy metro area. In addition to people asking me how bad the weather here is in Indiana, along with the wildfires in California, it got me wondering, where does Indiana land in regard to natural disasters? Well, let's dive in. Did you know Indiana ranks somewhere in the middle when it comes to natural disasters? There it is again, Indiana is mid. While Delaware tops the list of states with the fewest natural disasters, and states like Texas and California face hurricanes and wildfires regularly, Indiana sits comfortably in the middle where things get wild enough to keep life interesting and just mid. So what kinds of natural disasters do we see here in Indiana? Well, let's talk about it. Tornadoes are one of Indiana's most significant threats. In fact, Indiana is in part of, quote, Tornado Alley, which experiences about an average of 22 tornadoes per year. Now, here in Hamilton County, though, we actually have only seen 28 tornadoes since 1950. So you can say we see less than the state average. The 2012 Henryville tornado, which is in southern Indiana, is one of the most infamous Indiana disasters with EF4 winds that devastated the community. A lot of people that moved to Indiana asked me about getting a home with a basement because of the concerns with tornadoes. And although that is an option, you can also honestly go into an interior room that has no windows, which is usually going to be a bathroom. Now, I personally have never seen a tornado, but do have experience with tornado sirens and going to a safe spot in our house. Now, tornado season hits hardest from about April to June. So if you're new to Indiana, invest in a weather app and know your safe zones. While tornadoes steal the spotlight, floods quickly wreak havoc in Indiana. Indiana's rivers and flat terrain make flooding a common challenge. The 2008 floods were catastrophic, causing over $1 billion in damages and impacting more than 80 counties. Again, Hamilton County wasn't included. While it may not seem as dramatic as a tornado, flooding is a silent threat that leaves a lasting impact. Since 1955, nearly 45% of Indiana's disaster declarations have actually been due to severe storms, with flooding accounting for 14%. So if you're buying a home here, maybe double check the floodplain map, and if you still choose to live in a floodplain, you'll have extra insurance costs as well. Now, before I move on to winter disasters here in the Hoosier State, I want to mention the strong thunderstorms Indiana deals with throughout the spring, summer, yes, and fall. With everything that I'm talking about today, strong thunderstorms are probably the most common bad weather phenomenon we see here. Sometimes a heavy rain will wash out yards, flood roads and crop fields, and can turn your backyard into a swimming pool. And on top of that, some of these storms bring hail the size of golf balls and even bigger. Anytime a huge thunderstorm rolls through this area that brings hail, just get ready to be bombarded with roofing companies wanting to sell you a new roof. Now, Indiana winters, yes, are a thing. In fact, right now, we're in the middle of a brutal cold spell where the wind chill will be below zero for several days. Now, Indiana can get heavy snowfalls, ice storms, and sub-zero temperatures that can cause power outages, hazardous road conditions, and serious safety concerns. But who could forget the infamous Snowmageddon in 2014 when temperatures dropped to -40 with wind chills? Now, snow and ice storms have led to about 16% of the state's disasters declarations since 1955. But let's be honest. I posted a video of my husband using our leaf blower to blow the snow off the walkway, and people went crazy saying it was not Snowmageddon. Well, the media said it was, so it must have been. In all honesty, Indiana, yes, does get snow, and yes, it can be a pain. but overall it is manageable and usually doesn't stay for long. Here's a fun fact for your next trivia night. Yes, Indiana does get earthquakes. Believe it or not, the Hoosier State is on the edge of the New Madrid seismic zone. Now, while the earthquakes here aren't really frequent or catastrophic, tremors can be felt and they give you something to talk about for weeks. I remember back in 2008, a 5.2 magnitude earthquake hit the southern Illinois border, and my husband and I both woke up from it in the middle of the night because our bed was shaking. That was honestly kind of an eerie feeling. So while Indiana might not face the same scale of disasters as some states, we're no strangers to Mother Nature's surprises. Whether it's a tornado warning or a record snowstorm, one thing's for sure, Indiana's gonna give you all 4 seasons, each with its own twists and turns. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves learning about the Hoosier State. And if you're thinking about moving to the Indianapolis or Indiana area, anytime in, say, within the next 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, I'd love to be your trusted real estate source. I've helped hundreds of people just like you move to the Indy metro area, and please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Honestly, my contact info is below, and yes, you actually get me. One final thing, if you enjoyed this video, here is one I think you might like as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. But in 2012, in 2012,